Henry Hubbard here, and fellow students saying hello to all my fellow public speaking enthusiasts. And as you know, I'm here to deliver a verbal presentation on what I thought about the TED Talks. And TED Talks is something I've been into for quite some time now. I find them most inspirational, informative, and non-biased. Something hard to find on the internet. So you can trust in a TED Talk that it might be boring or off the beaten path, but at least it's somebody's true view of the world. And so let's dig in. The first TED Talk that we viewed was from 2006 by a speaker named Sir Ken Robinson, and he did the topic of do schools kill creativity? And I would have to certainly argue yes they do, but that's not it's not why we're here. So let's talk about how he made his points. He did a really good job to promote his main point, which I believe is the first question. His main point was really to just really drive home the fact that literacy is equal in its importance as it is to creativity, or creativity is equal in its importance is to literacy. And that's kind of funny because when I first started watching this, I was thinking about how literacy leads to creativity when you are able to know how to read and write. That can lead to all kind of creative outlets. And so it was interesting to hear him say that one is equally important, like they were separate and not together, which is interesting on so many aspects. But again, we're just here to, I guess, dissect the way that he gets his point across. And I thought he got his point across really good by using strong eye contact and by using deliberate body movements with his hands and also with his posture. And it was very effective because it was informative, and the entire presentation moved along smoothly. It just moved forward smoothly all the way until the end. And he did use humor, and he used it in a highly relatable way, which allowed him to really get access and discuss a really sensitive subject openly and I guess more directly than in any other circumstance he would have, without the humor and without the TED Talk and without the presentation in certain audience, I suppose. And so on to the next speech. The Feminists of Africa speaker was Chimamanda, who uses what I thought a lot of sarcasm to. I thought she used a lot of sarcasm to. Here she is. I gotta look at her real quick. I thought she used a lot of sarcasm to make her point, and it was funny because the more ironic and the more serious the subject matter, the more laughs she got, the more response and the better response she got, the more serious the situation and parallels or parodies that you draw to it created even more laughter, and which is something I think is important when you're talking about really serious subjects like equality and freedom and feminism, whatever it is. And when we're talking about equality, it's really fun to poke fun at it, and I think it's a really good approach for anyone who's trying to make a difference or get that out there. And that might be something that's sorely missed through the texting and the Twitter and all that people don't get that sarcasm when it's not face-to-face kind of interaction. So I thought that was super cool. And then the next questions I think were about TED Talks and what they do and what they are, and I think they're kind of just like a respectable, informative, and sound you could say sound, but obviously a lot of TED Talks are based in theory and can't really be proven. But I'd say that they're a solid place to look for new ideas and things that are likely very real but not mainstream or not accepted or talked about. And TED Talks are just an amazing avenue to either get ideas or share ideas. Obviously, everyone should aspire to one goal in life, and that's to have one TED Talk that changed the world forever. And if you're not doing that, then you're not doing nothing. And I don't think this is it. Give it time. Give it time. And moving on. So TED Talks also serves the community and communities and the world in many ways. It's kind of a coming together of ideas as any convention is. And I heard another student mention that it costs $10,000 for a standard ticket. I just find that hard to wrap my head around, to believe or understand, or even I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna sneak through the back if the ticket's $10,000. But I guess I've never been, and I think it's easier just to watch it online. And it seems like if they put a $10,000 standard ticket, it would just stifle the science. It would stifle the true priority of what it was. I mean, that means 100,000 per 10 people. We're talking about a 300-person audience. I don't know if that's a real number or not. Obviously, I could look it up. Okay, so it serves its community in all kinds of ways. Let me get back to that. As I was saying, it serves its community in so many ways, and it also serves the distant future, because I'm sure there's more than one TED Talk that will take decades, if not centuries, to come to life. And those are ideas that were written and given as a speech before they were given life. And although they're scientific in nature and they've been documented, people bring them to life and they put them in TED Talks, and then they present them. And that's kind of what we got going on here. I think I might have gotten off topic a little bit there. My bad. Oh shit, we're already 7 minutes. Okay, so now the first video that I picked on my own was In the Agony of Trying to Unsubscribe. And this is by James Vierch. And he uses comedy, like most of the other people we've talked about, to break the ice immediately. And then he heads full steam into a presentation that helps illustrate his own bitterness in the most relatable of ways. And it's really something cool to see. And everybody deals with the same thing when it comes to internet spam and trolls. And he really relates in a funny way, and that was kind of his main focus. Then the next video was Inside the Mind of a Procrastinator, and it's a speech by Tim Urban, and he relies heavily on visual aids, which are almost like stick figures drawn by himself, but they really lend a seriously unique aspect to his presentation, where just the nuance is not so serious, but it is serious, because we're talking about procrastination, and we're talking about hypothetical situations where people procrastinate for days and days on things they should have done weeks ago. And everybody knows what they should have done and what they should be doing, and he really does a good job of illustrating where we fall short. And if there's anything I guess to take from his presentation, it would just be, do it now, I guess, which is sounds like a cop-out of some sort. Just do it now. Getting started is the fun part. Being finished is the sad part. I might have improv a bit there, but yeah, he used a lot of hypothetical situations relating to jobs that many people have. Visual aids and humor. He did all that, and it was a good presentation. And it was long, and it was good. And then the third one I picked was even longer, and it's called The Skill of Humor, and by Andrew Tarvin. and it's a really solemn speech that uses a really steady and stoic approach. It's a different kind of humor than we've seen through all the other videos so far, which I thought was cool. He really incorporates his humor in a way that the speaker has to do little more than just inform the audience with facts to get a really good reaction. So in a way, he's just guiding them through the truth. And I thought it was really cool how he just delivered his speech directly and to the point, and that was more than enough to get a reaction and I'm sure a memory from the audience. And he used many instances that included his grandmother in funny and in modern ways, like that included social media. So he was drawing on things that are popular to people today. And obviously we've touched on a lot of things this evening, and I hope to hear more from all of you soon. And yeah, I love TED Talks and hope you do too. Bye, guys.